tonight's event is really about bringing those people together that see school readiness as part of their mission and part of their work, and create the opportunity for them to come together to build connections to each other, but to really form affinity groups around the areas of school readiness. And these affinity groups would identify goals specific to different areas within school readiness that the community could engage around and support.
We have representatives here from, the gamut of daycare, preschool. They're educators, as well as Mark works with the county on labor force. So we're seeing issues from kind of the broader spectrum that I thought was very relevant.
We're doing a good job with the people that we can actually touch and we get to. There's a lot more out there than we are even aware of. So we need to find ways to connect better with those families that we haven't connected with yet.
One challenge I see is our language barrier, the language barrier that we have in this district. Our families don't know how to communicate with us, our school district.
Part of the problem for some of these kids coming to school is they come hungry. Part of the problem with getting ready is that we're not doing what we need to do as community leaders to support these families that are struggling.
Part of the barriers are knowing, first of all, what resources are there. Our clinic has been in Lakeville for a year, and so I've been out in the community, I've been figuring out what resources are out there, and that's been good. But sometimes I feel like it's hard to get people connected. I can tell them, oh, they've got this awesome, early learning center, and here's the numbers, but there's not always the great communication.
I think the biggest obstacle is language, but even more so than that is transportation. We have all these ways of identifying the children in the community. We find them, we have a spot for them in preschool, but we cannot get them to school if the parent doesn't drive.
An area that we've started to emphasize through one of our providers where I work is sleep. Oh. And the impact of sleep on behavior in school as well as school performance.
It's getting the buy-in from those people who actually need services, willing to help, willing to actually do something or ask for or receive the help. And that's the struggle there. The other thing I think we have is those people who just aren't connected with it in their day-to-day activities, so they aren't aware of it. So
it's okay to go to these classes. It's okay to get help from a support worker. It's okay to call public health if I need something. It's okay to have my child receive special services.
These families, these cultures, these conditions exist in Lakeville, and we need to recognize that as a community, and we need to step up and address it together.
So there's the economic piece. There's the, you may not be impacted because you're from a higher socioeconomic class, but because this person isn't ready to learn when they start school, it is affecting other children, your children. So I think that's helping sell it to the broader community, and I think everybody here probably is involved in programs that make a difference. So how can we capture that and say why it's important?
Maybe we identify a half dozen strengths and put each one of those people on an action team. Those teams then strategize to say, okay, how can we best reach our targeted audience?
When I look at what roles can each of the different aspects play, faith communities can offer services for the different language.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. How do we respond in a different way to become an inclusive community? Not how do we keep doing what we've been doing the best we can in the same way.
Is this the cycle? We inventory the resources, we connect with the needs, and we do follow-up and improvement. And go back and we just continue to do this.
No one fits one of those categories. I'm thinking, in healthcare, first you might be the identifier, but then it might cycle back around. You're now the resource, and everyone can be any one of those.